Today, we will answer a math challenge given by one of our followers. And the question goes like this. Given this equation, x squared plus absolute value of x minus 12 equals 0, then the goal is to find the real value of x that satisfies this equation. Now, pause this video right now and see if you can answer this question, because I will show you the solution in 3, 2, 1. Given this equation, x squared plus absolute value of x minus 12 equals 0, then the goal in this video is to find the real value of x that satisfies this equation. Now, this absolute value tells us two different cases. So case 1 is when x is less than 0 or a negative number. And another in case 2 is when x is greater than 0. Now, assume for a moment that we don't have any absolute value. So let's have case 1 and case number 2. Now, when x is less than 0, this part becomes negative. So assume for a moment that we don't have any absolute value. So we have x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. Now, what we're going to do is to solve this quadratic equation. Now, to solve this, we will use some factoring techniques. Now, one of this is take a look at this constant negative 12. Now, think of two numbers that when you multiply, you get negative 12. And one of this is negative 4 times 3. Now, take note, when we add negative 4 and positive 3, we get the coefficient of x, which is negative 1. And technically speaking, we can factor this quadratic equation as follows. We have x minus 4 multiplied by x plus 3. Those two numbers that when we multiply, we get the constant, and when we add, we get the coefficient of the middle term. And using the zero property, we can say that x minus 4 equals to 0, or x plus 3 equals 0. So we can solve for the values of x. On the first equation, if we add 4 on both sides, we get x equals 4. And when we subtract 3 on both sides to the second equation, we get x equals negative 3. Now let's check. If x is 4, we have 16 plus 4 minus 12. So 16 plus 4 is 20 minus 12 is not equal to 0. So therefore, x equals 4 is not part of our solution. Now, how about x equals 3? Rather, negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9, plus absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3. 9 plus 3 is 12 minus 12 is 0. Therefore, x equals negative 3 is part of our solution. So we found one of the possible values of x. Now, how about in case number 2? So again, assume for a moment that we don't have any absolute value. Now, when x is greater than 0, our equation is just x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. Now, again, using some factoring techniques, think of two numbers. When we multiply, we get negative 12, and when we add, we get positive 1. And those two numbers are 4 and negative 3, because when we add 4 and negative 3, we get positive 1. So our factored form simply equal to x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 3 equals 0. Now, using zero property, we can say that x plus 4 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. And solve for the values of x. Subtract 4 on both sides, we get x equals negative 4. And add 3 on both sides, we get x equals positive 3. Now, let's check again. If x is negative 4, so negative 4 squared is 16, plus the absolute value of negative 4 is positive 4. 16 plus 4 is 20, minus 12. This is not equal to 0, so negative 4 is not part of our solution. Now, how about positive 3? 3 squared is 9, plus 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. So, positive 3 is part of our solution. Therefore, given these two cases, we found two real values of x that satisfies this equation. This is x equals negative 3, or x equals 3. And this is our answer to this question. Therefore, given this equation, x squared plus the absolute value of x minus 12 equals 0, then we found two real values of x that satisfies this equation. We found x equals 3, or x equals negative 3. And as always, we are done.